The world can be a cruel place, and for Vicky, a once beloved dog, that cruelty came in the form of abandonment. Her owner, the very person she trusted the most, cast her away like an unwanted object. Left alone on the cold, unforgiving streets, Vicky wandered aimlessly, searching for food, shelter, and, above all, a shred of love. As the days passed, her condition worsened. Starvation ate away at her body, and the relentless exposure to the elements stripped her of her fur. Her skin, ravaged by infection and neglect, began to peel away, revealing the fragile bones of her ribcage beneath. Every step she took was a struggle, every breath a painful reminder of the life she had lost. Passers-by turned their heads. Some looked in horror, others in apathy. No one reached out to help. No one cared. The world kept moving as Vicky withered away, an invisible ghost of what she once was. But not everyone had forgotten compassion. One day, near a quiet farm on the outskirts of town, a kind-hearted stranger saw her. He did not turn away. He did not ignore her suffering. Instead, he knelt down, spoke to her in a soft voice, and gently scooped her frail body into his arms. For the first time in a long time, Vicky felt warmth, not from the sun, but from a human's touch. He took her home, to a place where she was no longer just a discarded creature, but a soul in need of healing. He fed her, bathed her, and gave her the medical attention she so desperately needed. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, the Vicky that had once been forgotten began to return. Her body mended. Her fur, once lost to the cruelty of the streets, grew back, covering her once exposed bones. But most importantly, her spirit, shattered by pain and neglect, began to heal. Vicky's story is one of unimaginable suffering, but also one of hope. It is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, kindness still exists. It only takes one person, one act of compassion, to change a life. How can the world be so cruel? That is a question with no easy answer. But perhaps, a better question is, how can we choose to be different? Because, in the end, Vicky survived not because of the world's cruelty, but because of one person's kindness. Months passed, and Vicky transformed from a weak and frail dog into a vibrant soul. She was no longer just a recovering dog, she had become a symbol of resilience and survival. She relearned how to trust humans, how to play, and how to find joy in the simplest things. One day, the man who had saved her took her to the vet for a final checkup. There, he met a couple who were looking for a dog to adopt. When they saw Vicky, they saw something special in her, something that made them realize she was the one they needed. They spoke with the man and listened to her story. They couldn't hold back their tears as they heard about her suffering. Without hesitation, they decided to give her a forever home filled with warmth and love. As Vicky left with her new family, she turned to the man who had rescued her. As if to say thank you, she looked at him with her bright, grateful eyes before running off into her new world. The world had not been kind to her at first, but because of one compassionate heart, her life was changed forever. Vicky's story remains a testament to the power of kindness, proving that love has the ability to heal even the deepest wounds. In her new home, Vicky thrived. She had a warm bed to sleep in, a large yard to run in, and a family that adored her. Every morning, she greeted them with excited tail wags, and every evening, she curled up beside them, finally at peace. But Vicky's story didn't end there. Her new owners, deeply moved by her past, decided to share her journey with the world. They started documenting her progress, from her first hesitant steps in her new home to the moments she rediscovered her playful nature. Her story spread across social media, inspiring thousands to look at stray animals differently, to see them not as burdens, but as souls longing for a second chance. Soon, people from all over the world reached out, sharing their own rescue stories, offering donations to shelters, and even adopting abandoned animals themselves. Vicky, once an invisible and discarded creature, had now become a symbol of hope and change. One day, her new family took her back to the farm where she had been found. As she stepped onto the familiar land, she didn't cower or tremble. Instead, she stood tall, her eyes filled with strength. She had come full circle, not as a victim, but as a survivor. Her rescuer was there, waiting with open arms. He knelt down, just as he had done on the day he found her, and called her name. Without hesitation, she ran to him, her tail wagging furiously. The man smiled, his heart swelling with pride. Vicky had found her happy ending. But more than that, she had helped others find theirs. Because sometimes, a single act of kindness doesn't just change one life, it changes many. Years passed, and Vicky continued to live a life filled with love. She grew older, but the spark in her eyes never faded. She had a family, a home, and a world that now saw her not as a stray, but as a miracle. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Vicky lay beside her owner, her head resting gently on his lap. He stroked her fur, now soft and thick, and whispered words of love. She looked up at him, her eyes filled with gratitude. In that moment, she knew she was safe. She knew she was loved. And for Vicky, that was all she had ever wanted.